Hello everybody and welcome to Sunday's edition of Wardy's Waffle. Thank you for your feedback the last few days, last week or two, about the format, about these intros. It seems like you prefer these personalised intros, which I'll do. Looking at my hair, I need a haircut. Let me just shut the door. Just before I get into what we got on this update, yesterday I had our first meeting for the cereals event with the cereals organising team. Really good long meeting, mapping out what we're going to do for this event. There's already been a few layouts sent across to me, so we're looking at that. I just wanted to know, please, if you could just give me your opinions in the comments below on what you'd like to see from the cereals event that isn't already there. When you look at Groundswell, the other event that goes on, it's a completely different event to cereals, and the two complement each other. So I think quite a lot of what you see at Groundswell won't be at cereals, but please just let me know what you'd like to see. We are aware that there was quite a few issues with the layout of the site, the walkways, the flow of the site, all that sort of thing, notice boards, signage, catering, toilets, lots of things like that. That's all been rectified for this year, so that's great, and we are aware of that. But it's just things that you'd like to see that interest you with farming, food, environment, all those sorts of things. For me, I really value the networking and talking to machinery companies and things, and I don't really want to be sat in seminars when you can be doing that at any other time of the year in the winter and things. For me, cereals is about getting outside, looking at machinery, looking at varieties, crop plots, talking to other farmers. I get a huge amount from talking to other farmers, and also talking to exhibitors and companies who are in the agricultural industry. That's just me. Anyway, please let us know in the comments below. I'm just about to head off to Great Eccleston show, so if you're around tomorrow, because by the time you see this it'll be Sunday, Great Eccleston will have had day one, which is today, Saturday. So tomorrow, if you're to Loose End and you're up near Blackpool, or you fancy a day out, please do come. This here is the description, and this is what's happening today. Lots going on, tractor pulling, lots of livestock shows, dog shows, huge amount to see, cooking as well, lots of things to see at the usual show. So please do come along. And there's some rare breed sheep, I know, lots of livestock there on view as well, and huge amount to see. So please do come along if you fancy a day out. So what have we got in this update? We are establishing a few days ago our winter bird food plots, and that's the areas around the farm that we've got an environmental scheme, and we established those with our Simba Elita. That's this machine, and really went well after the soloing done a few weeks ago and the weathering that it's had on it. So we look at that, and also pressing it afterwards instead of rolling it to consolidate it. We've also started our oilseed rape intake for the year. We store upwards of 3,000 tonnes for ADM, that's a national grain merchant, so that's other people's rape that they have bought from the farmer, and we're storing on behalf of the merchant. So we look at that a little bit, but I'll touch on that more in detail next week. Also, we've got some wheat going out from our other farm, which is in the bins, which is an older system with elevators and conveyors. So I loaded lorry there and show you that. And then also at the end of this clip, there will be some clips, some footage from Great Eccleston show, where I'm just about to head off to. Anyway, that's it for this intro. Thanks very much for watching. Please do come back to me with any suggestions, questions, queries about the National Cereals event, and I'll do my best to take them forward, and we'll see what we can do. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this update, and see you at the end. So we've got going with the Elita. This is the machine we use for oilseed raising. We built this on our farm ourselves about 10 years ago. It's a converted 6-metre solo. And you can see the seed going underneath there. Going in. So putting seed and fertiliser in line with the lakes. Talks of rain tomorrow. This just shows how this heavy soil crumbles when it's bone dry and rained and dried on it, when you look at the lumps there. And that's just the two rollers in the machine, the rubber roller and then the DD roller, crushing it and firming it. You can see it's taking some pulling. We've got the legs in quite deep, The legs at the front are loosening it, and there's the seat dropping out. Job holding it steady. So the seed dropping in a line behind the legs, so it's all got plenty of room to root. Because it's still wet underneath, the ground's not moving quite as much deep down as it normally does. It would normally shatter it to help with the drainage. So there's the fertiliser. Got nitrogen there. You can just see the tank. We've got the seed in the hopper there. There's 11 legs, so there's 11 outlets for the seed. Then the rubber roller's firming it, that's doing a cracking job. And then fertiliser at the back, coming out the nozzles. You can just see it coming out in a very thin stream. It's only applying nitrogen exactly where the seed is. And then the press at the back. The press at the back is firming it, consolidating it. We will come along with something else and just press and firm it again. Just come to another field now with the Elita, and it's incredible what the rollers do, breaking it down. You can see you've got lumps there, and that's the finish you get. The legs are spaced 45 centimetres apart. Then the seed, you can see, is dropping it in front of where the leg's been. And then the fertiliser is dropping it in line with the seed, so it doesn't waste it. Rubber roller at the front and then the metal DD at the back. That's what gives you this effect. Does a really good job. This is what we built for establishing oilseed rape, but we haven't grown it for the last 4 years, maybe 5 years, because of the flea beetle impact, and we were losing money on it. We might come back to it if we can get some chicken muck, because if you put chicken muck on straight after you put the rape on here, such as this, the flea beetle don't like chicken muck. But generally it's done a really good job here. So just looking down the hill, down the valley, that's known as the Trent Valley, and we've got 5 acres of this winter bird food plot up here, because the rest of the field down there where it's green is really nice soil and it's sugar beet land. You can grow sugar beet on it, but up here it's very, very difficult for sugar beet. And you've got those next 3 fields in the line, so the bottom of this one and the next one over that hedge, and there's a middle dike there, so the next 3 fields are ours, and they've all got this cover crop on. And then just through there, that green one just this side of the trees, that's got the cover crop on as well. So these will all be coming winter wheat next year. But just when you look, that's the hills in the very, very distance. You can just see that on the blue skyline, that's the Derbyshire Pennines. I'm not quite sure how many miles away it is, but days like today when it's really clear, you can see it really well. Now somewhere across there, and I can't quite see it, is Lincoln Cathedral. On the edge of that cliff, there's a power station. You can just see the chimneys from the power station, but the cathedral is just through there as well somewhere, but I can't quite see it. I'm not quite high enough up, so I'm come down the hill a little bit. I'm just putting some more seed in the machine. We'll have a look at those legs and show how it works in a bit, how deep they're going. So you can see what the legs are like when they're out the ground. They've got little wings on. Look how it lifts the soil and shatters it underneath. So there's 11 legs and the machine's 5 metres wide. So in Sunday's update, last Sunday's update, you heard me talk about the cover crops that we've established on the land we're not growing a crop, and how the ones you saw in that update haven't grown very well. Well, this is the other way. These have grown fantastic, and they've all they're starting to come into flower, so they're doing a huge amount of good to the soil. Ruben's behind me just pressing the wild bird food, winter bird food strips that Tom's just planted, so we'll have a look at that as well at the same time. You can just see them there near the trees. So when you look here, the white flowered plants here are buckwheat. So if I can pull one of those out, so that's the root from the buckwheat, quite a tall plant. Then we've got the purpley plants. These are the Phacelia, and this is what you saw in all the when they had little plots up on the heath and all the bees humming around. And if I just pull one of these up, the roots, you can just see in there, the roots are taking all the moisture out the top, which is great, putting goodness in when we chop this up and work this back into the soil. So when you look down on there, it's had really good ground cover, and it's really grown. When we were in Wales last week, just because it was decent warm weather, and that's all it needed. And if it hadn't been so cold weather in June, it'd have been like this a bit sooner. But when you look across the field here, that's Nala, that's not a deer. When you look across the field here, it just looks fantastic how it's come. So we're going to mould this in the next few days and start to get this land ready for planting with winter wheat. So looking over here onto the winter bird food area, this has been in the countryside stewardship agreement now for, I think, best part of 10 years. So we haven't had a crop on it apart from a crop for wildlife. So this is all now in rows, 45 centimetres wide. And what we're doing here, we aren't rolling it as such. We're using the cultipress just to firm and chop and consolidate it, because when we used to grow oilseed rape, this did a really good job at firming the soil around the seed and conserving moisture and helping it to grow well. We don't want the tines in very deep, just scratching the top, otherwise it moves the seed. You can see there the tines are hardly in, which is fine, because it's the rings that's doing most of the work here. You see it just moving the soil a little bit. That's a scraper, that middle scraper's bent. You can see there, look, it's sticking up. That's catching on the ring. So it's just firming all the soil around the seed, and then when we get this rain, it will be germinating. Hopefully within a week you'll see this in rows. We did actually spray these plots this morning. You can just see some broadleaf weeds coming in them. We don't want those coming amongst here because it will take over, and because there's quite a bit of weed seed in these plots, so we do need those to die. So we sprayed it with Roundup this morning, and I think we shall put some slug pellets on this as well, because last year the plots got eaten alive by slugs. So I think we'll put some pellets on here after the rain as a preventative measure. It's Friday morning. You can just see a lorry behind me here on the weighbridge. This is the first load of oilseed rape that we're storing this year. It is for a national company, for ADM, and this, I think, is last year's crop that a farmer hasn't got sold or moved. And we've got 16 lorry loads coming in like this. So that's 16 29-ton lorry loads from last year. Anyway, I'll explain a bit more about this in next week's update, but this is load 1 of the intake for 2024. So this is the shed we're going to start tipping in, and the controls for this are in the chemical store. Just unlock it. There's the sprayer, and the chemicals are in there as well. So just open the door. You'll notice the doors are quite high. That's not as high as the ones around the other side. And when we're building sheds, I always think you want doors as high as you can, It's cheap putting height on doors and height on buildings compared to the overall cost of the building. Here's that first load just coming round. Just the only trouble with this shed, when they built this concrete in front, they didn't quite get the levels right. And we've got little few puddles in front of the shed doorway, which really annoys me actually. But anyway, it'll soon dry with the weather when the sun gets on it. So first load going back into that corner. Ruben's just at the side there, just telling him how near to tip, when to stop, that's it. So I've undone the clamps already, but this is an air door on here, which I'll look when to show you it's the other side. So all these have one ram at the centre. We've got this lorry nice and clean, it's not new. What is it, 67 or 8? With oilseed rate and a shiny lorry floor. You don't need the trailer up very stunt for it to slide out. So this is from harvest 23, not 24. There we are, that's empty. That's about 29 tonnes. See there, into the lorry. Really shiny, which is great. The crops come out easily when it's like that. That's it. There, that's fully down. We've used a leaf blower to clean all the back of the trailer off so it doesn't trail oilseed rape around the yard. It hangs in every corner, every little trap and ledge. Busy day today, Friday. I'm now come up to the Heath farm and we've got some wheat of our own going out the bins, which are behind those doors there. That's the spout that the lorry's bucking under. So Robert's just taking his sheet off. Electric sheet, always a lot handier, quicker and easier. So I'm just going to go in here where all the controls are. This is an older system, been in here years in here. Bins there, an old dryer that we don't use anymore that I will be selling if anybody's interested in that. 14 tonne an hour at capacity at 5% it takes out. And these are all the controls in here. So I need to just start these up. One to the right, that's the top conveyor up there that goes outside. Main elevator. So that's the one that takes the grain from the bottom here up to the top conveyor, and then we've got bottom conveyor there. That's the one that takes it from the bins, under the bins, comes through under there, goes under the dryer here, drops into the bottom there, up to the top there, and then out. You can hear it now going. That should be going into the lorry. You can't quite see it from here. Just see it there. So I've just come up the steps up to the top of the bins. And you can see that bin's empty now. That one needs shovelling. This is the problem with these bins. When they stop running in this corner, because the hole's there, it's heaped up at the back. You've got to shovel that out. There's about 5 tonnes there to shovel. That bin's the same. Whereas that bin has been done. Tom and Ruben did that yesterday. That one is emptying now. And if we go out here, should be able to see it. We go over the top of the dryer. Through here, so that we just see the grain going into the lorry. So that's it, that's got him gone. 29 tonnes on there. It takes about 45 minutes out here, which really slow out these bins, but I don't want to spend any money up this end, apart from maybe pulling all the bins out and opening all that up to have it as one open shed. If we can, actually, I'll just show you that. So what I could do is pull all this lot out, pull the floor out. This is the pit just behind here, we tip it, all this lot, and then make it like this shed here, because this is not a bad shed for tipping in. Quite high, it's an old shed, yes, but get 450 tons in here. So you could have 2 sheds if we pulled all that lot out, pulled everything out there, put a grain walling down the middle here, maybe use the bins as grain walling, and have you'd have 2 sheds, but store 900 tons up here. Then you wouldn't have any of the bins to shovel out. The only trouble is the bins are really handy. They hold 45 tons each, and the bins are really handy when you want to store small amounts of crops or seed or things like that. Anyway, with the way the farm is at the minute, with having 1/3 of the farm no crops on it, it's not looking good for this next year. So it's a case of zip up your pockets, batten down the hatches and shut the checkbook. Finally arrived. Thank you to expert chauffeuring in by Joe and the gang. It's quite a big show here.
That's a tractor pull.
Ah, that's tractor pull down there. That'll be a bit later. Brilliant. Oh, it's look at the smoke. So this tractor pulling, it's new to me.
The diesel rock team, yeah, standard 3D.
You can see it's not a normal engine. So this one's done his run, and the reason apparently why they don't move themselves about, because they only have a very, very small amount of fuel to get to the end of the run. So this is why they have to be manoeuvred about like this. Birds of prey, crikey, what's that one?
Ew, that's big. This one, yeah, that one, Tom. That owl before that one. This one.
For one final time today, you'll see the dairy cattle leaving the residence and show ring. Have a round of applause as they leave the ring.
Here's Ollie's tractor. But lovely and clean. Oh, hang on, what's that?
What? I think he's trying to say that he's won all these medals for having such a nice tractor, but I don't think that's the case.
Well, I think we need to take 1 or 2 back for the cleaning of the box.
We have a wonderful community, for want of a better word, around agriculture, food and farming, and I'm very lucky to have been my grandfather, in fact, will go back in just a couple of generations and try and speed that one up a little bit. But my
to days like this, it's not just today, it's the days and weeks and months beforehand. So to you and all your volunteers, well done, and there's a little gift from the Farmers Club.
It's about 6:30 in the evening and everywhere's starting to close up apart from where we are.
Can you guess how many balloons are in this?
What are we going for?
I'm going to go for
64. I was going to say about 65 actually, so we're not far off that.
I'm going to get 36. 85.
85, yeah, we'll let you know. So the sign off for this video is from Joe. Over to you.
Yep, thank you very much for watching today's video. In tomorrow's video, or maybe later on in the week.
It might be in the next day or so, yeah.
Yeah. Then there will be more content from Great Eccleston Show, because we've got more to see. There's classic tractors, there's a lot of the machinery stands.
And we are going past here, JCB. Here, that's it.
But right now, we need to go for something to eat.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for watching. Subscribe, press like, and check us out in the next video.
See you next time.
Yeah, business.